Committee, Jerry Ukulele and Glenn. And Marissa, you get everybody else. I'd like to make a motion for approval of the agenda.
So moved.
I have the second. I can do that. Second. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Approval of the minutes.
So moved.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Public participation. Is there anybody on the line? No, there's not. All right, let's skip public participation. Get right into it. Discussion next steps, technology. Allie, you do a tech update?
Sure. So, past couple of days, we've had some staff meetings in all the buildings that I was able to facilitate to do some more training in Parent Square, specifically when it comes to parent-teacher conferences, which is our first go-around with Parent Square to do that. So we created a nice little video and met in each building to start setting that up. So those conferences, those reminders, they all went out today. So excited for that. We'll continue looking at that to see how this go-around is. There were some questions, but I have a really good feeling about it because teachers seem to really like it, get positive feedback, and it makes it very easy for a parent to see all these schedules in one shot, being able to have their calendars all in one place. So we'll know more next week how it goes, but I'm very confident that it's a nice solution for us. Then we have social media. Of course, our social media.
You're a ghost. What a clown.
Our social media feed has been quite interesting and colorful lately. Specifically, but the yummy food, with the whatever that is, the spider or whatever that is sitting in there. Oddly enough, got the most views out of all of them.
The food?
The food, yeah.
The spider.
So those were some of the highlights from the past 3 weeks. Those are our stats. Not as many views as we've gotten at the beginning of the year, but that's how time settle in. But we can also, people don't really have to rely as much on social media as they do for something like Parent Square. And you'll see that in a minute. Where let's see if it's bigger. Doesn't work that way. Anyway, we've had hundreds of posts go out lately, and it's been absolutely wonderful. We have gotten to, there's some buildings, they only need to chase one family to have 100% participation in Parent Square. So the take-up has been really wonderful. So, for example, the principal update to the middle school the other day, lots of information, lots of pictures, and all buildings have kind of been a similar thing to send information. And we use that same data now to clean up our school database. If people change their phone numbers to email addresses, it makes it really nice and easy for us to stay on top of people changing things. That's it for social media.
Allie, I just sent you a picture. I don't know if you could see it. But I would love it if you could get that up there somehow. If it's too much effort, just say so.
Not a problem.
I want to just show you guys, I was so excited about this. If you see what it is. I just put it on Facebook this afternoon, or else Allie probably would have grabbed it on her own.
It looks delicious.
Yeah,
Must be food.
it's food.
It was pretty cool.
But it was very cool because look at those carrots, okay? Now those are rainbow carrots. They were grown at a local farm.
Okay.
And they have a honey glaze on them, and the honey is local also. And as the students were coming through the line and getting their trays, the kitchen staff was telling them all about this and educating them about
Oh,
where the
neat.
carrots
Where was
came
this?
from.
Southwest.
We were at
Okay,
Southwest.
Okay.
But it was
That's neat.
really exciting
Yeah,
to me.
it
you know,
is.
I
No,
was
that's
like,
really
oh my
cool.
God.
It
Like,
is.
It is great. And Michael and I were standing there, and you know, there were a couple of girls in front of us. No thanks, I don't want the carrots. And I was like, take the carrots.
Were they good?
We
didn't try them?
didn't try them, but
They look
They
good.
look good.
but everybody was excited about just
Yeah,
you know
The food that I've seen is really impressive.
and the fact that you know the woman was like telling the kids, you have to understand
Mhm.
that a beekeeper from your town, you know,
Yeah.
is responsible for this honey. And anyway, thank you for indulging me for a minute.
Of course.
I'm gonna go off topic on 1 second, Ally, here. You mentioned the carrots and the food, and looked like I had a big tray there, and I know the homeless thing has come up a little bit. Our waste, is there any way legally or anything we can send meals home to families or help the homeless in any way with some of our leftovers?
So the leftovers is a trickier question just
Yeah.
because of food preservation and
Yep.
the codes of that, regulations. However, to help families in need, if we are made aware, social workers can absolutely talk to Peter and or any member of our cafeteria staff, and if we can see if there's stuff we can do, you know, in terms of providing for them. We haven't had that happen yet, but I can definitely speak to Peter about it as well, so he can make a connection with the social workers.
Okay.
But leftovers would be a no-go.
Yeah, I
because if,
understand
they were
the
to
food
go
safety
home and
thing,
get
that'd be
ill,
Right.
difficult.
unfortunately, yeah.
I don't know, and I don't even know how much waste we have, or how much stuff we
Nowhere
throw out.
near what we used to have, I'll tell you that.
You
Kids
know,
are eating.
we can help the homeless in any way, I think.
Oh, sure. I think that's it. I can definitely speak to Peter about that.
Looks better. I don't eat it.
I expected.
My apologies, Ally, I kind
Oh, no
of totally derailed it.
I meant kids enjoy.
I'm always good
Kids
for
are
a food
enjoying it,
conversation.
yeah. Yeah, the kids
All right,
enjoy
well,
the
thank
food and the variety of things that are offered.
So Chromebooks. Currently in circulation, we have 2,720 Chromebooks. From those, there will be 270 of them end of life by June of next year. My plan is to budget for about 400 devices to account for failure, breakage, and just to make sure we have enough for even enrollment issues. So I was looking into the upgrades that you were talking about, and our last 2 shipments of Chromebooks that we received over the past 18 months, they've been bumped to 8 years. The 10-year one is going to in effect, I think, March of next year. And from what Google is explaining to me is that there will not be a fee. It will automatically be upgraded to the 10 years.
For your newer ones,
For the newer ones, up to I think 2 years back.
2021, I think.
Yeah, they will not, we will not incur a cost. They will just become,
To come to.
like the 5-year ones that we had that we purchased last year, the year before, they automatically became 8 years. So we have some that expire in 2029 and some in 2030. So
It's spread out too, which is good.
exactly.
Yeah.
So looking about to purchase 400 of them.
What's
So
the
it-
cost per?
About $300.
Question.
Go ahead, Gary.
Ally, Fiona told me to bring this up tonight. I brought it up a little while ago, unrelated to the Chromebook, but computer related. Some of the kids, some teachers, I went to Fiona with this, and she said she's not going to be here, so bring it up tonight. Some of the kids are accessing other websites from their computers. So,
What do you mean?
well, they have their own VPN. They're bringing in their own VPN. They're establishing their own VPN.
No, they're not.
What's that?
No, they're not.
No, you did you fix it?
I fixed that.
Okay. So you fixed it. She must
You
not
can
know.
see all that, right?
Yes.
Yeah, I remember we did
So-
talk last year, you were catching things as they come and new things would pop up.
Well,
Wow.
kids were bragging.
So we
about it.
have, well, I'm bragging now.
Yeah.
We're winning. This week.
I was talking to Rachel a couple months ago, and she's like, "Oh my God, it's this constant chase of something new." So I remember the board asking me over a year ago
Right.
to bring something to the table that will fix these kind of issues for good, and we did.
Good.
I'm happy to say we implemented that, and we are now decrypting essentially every bit of student traffic. And what it means is that we are able to look not at just a website itself, but we're going to look a little bit deeper of what's in that packet. And anything in terms of VPN or whatever, it gets shut down immediately.
Good.
And so far, nobody's been able to break it. Yeah, very happy with that.
Thank you.
I would imagine it takes a little bit, so maybe if they think they're getting away with it, it takes a little bit of time for you to catch it, and then it gets
No.
shut down. It's instant?
It's instant.
This'll be
So once they hit it,
So for Jeff, I'm doing layer 7.
Yeah. Do you have enough? Does the hardware have enough overhead to handle that across the?
With all the connections, like it'll handle up to 10 gigs, and we're using about 40% of that capacity right
Oh,
now.
wow,
But
fantastic!
it's instantaneous, and it for students it decrypts all traffic.
So you're just doing the students because
I'm just doing the
Yeah.
students.
it becomes complicated when you go.
I don't want to know.
Yeah.
So yeah, we continue to segment off networks,
Well said.
and
Wait, what you're saying is going to once you leave the student realm, there's a lot of other complications that come with.
privacy issues.
Well,
Absolutely.
yeah, privacy and even just where they're going, and you're basically opening the information. It's looking to see what kind of information it is, and then packages it back up and sends it down the line. Which for certain websites, they see that, right? They can
Right.
see it on the other side, and there's can be complications. In the student side of things, that's not anywhere near as much of an issue.
So what do we do for instances if for whatever reason a student may end up on a staff network, which shouldn't be possible, but just in case it does, it simply won't respond. I won't know what they're doing, but they still won't get anywhere. It gives us also a little bit more ability to control YouTube. We can filter within YouTube, we can filter by keywords, we can do a whole bunch of fancy stuff. But I would consider that issue addressed.
I would agree.
Great.
So you guys, I got one question. So that's if they jump on the school network. Can they tether their school-issued computers to their phones
No,
and use a VPN off the phone?
nope.
Because you're blocking the.
I'm blocking the tethering ability of our devices, but then in theory, for the phone, we have Yonder. They shouldn't have a phone. Shouldn't be near it.
Shouldn't.
Shouldn't,
But no, they won't be able to tether to their phone. Not from our device. If they were to bring in another device that's not ours, then
Maybe.
there's nothing we
Yeah,
can do.
not the computer, but the phones are kind of easy enough. It will work even in the Yammer pouch. Yammer pouch isn't blocking the cell signal.
True, if it's on.
If it's on, yeah.
Are you blocking alternate wireless networks based on the location?
I am blocking wireless networks that have not been previously known as like the home network. So hotspot usually is a little bit different.
So if somebody goes home then and tries to connect,
Well, at home they can still. It won't work for hotspot. It'll detect that it's a phone, even just based off their IP address. Like we know, we
have the
kind of
mobile
know their
carriers,
range.
right?
We know their optimum. Like we even get an alert if anything happens if they connect from something that we've never seen before. But the filtering that you have here goes home.
right? Not the layer 7, but
Layer 7 does too.
oh, really? You went all out.
It's a
All in.
it switches between our appliance that we have here in network,
And software
but then at
based.
home it goes to a cloud appliance,
Cool.
and it's layer filtered, so it doesn't matter. It's on the operating system.
This is a good solution.
We
win. I like when we get to say we
Ellie always
win.
has good solutions.
Good job, Alan.
All right, if Jeff approves, then we move on.
Moving on.
Nice.
All right.
Anywho, device coverage. We closed the window for device coverage payments, and those numbers look a little bit better than they did last time around. However, of the ones that elected, there's only, maybe roughly half people that did pay us. But at the end, we have over $20,000 to use for repairs, which is nice.
Plus whatever
More than we had
deductibles
last
come
year.
in. Right.
Mm-hmm.
Have those families been notified that their belief of being covered has been negated?
Not yet. I will do that tomorrow, only because I just finished today, going through. We sent out several reminders saying, hey, October 31st is the last day you can pay, but now we'll go through and send a message to those that had elected coverage, and we'll send a message that says, oh, sorry, you didn't make it in time, and unfortunately we'll be responsible for the full damage, should that occur.
Have we had any claims yet? Knock on wood.
I should have said that.
Yeah.
You gotta
Let's
ask.
knock on wood.
Knock
Don't
on wood.
ask.
Yeah,
We don't
that's-
need that number.
Sorry, nobody's gonna record me.
Well, it's good. It's just good to know how, your claims experience and
Yeah.
if it works.
Yeah.
If we made some estimations and coming up with those costs.
Yeah.
So the claims experience will
It's-
drive next year's experience.
Was this option offered to staff? I don't know if would be something. What happens if a staff person backs over their laptop? Does the district just buy one, or are they also have the
I don't
same
think I'm qualified
responsibility?
to answer that.
It was not offered to staff, with the hopes that most staff are a little more careful with their items, and obviously being an adult and having that responsibility of a issued device takes a little more serious. So we didn't offer it to staff at this point. And knock on wood, it hasn't come to a need to offer it to staff. If there had been a need, then obviously we would have looked into it.
I would agree. I mean, I haven't seen anything like that.
Okay. Any other questions on the protection plan?
No, we're looking forward to
Good,
it.
we can wrap that one up. I
Wrap
see
it
that
up.
one coming back, right? And the Chromebooks, we're good on that. We don't really need to carry that over to next meeting, correct?
If protection plan comes back, it would just be for an update, maybe halfway through the school year or something,
Okay.
how the claims are going.
All right. Without any other questions, we're going to go to facilities and possible executive session to discuss the secure foyers. How do I properly get into an executive session?
So, somebody needs to make a motion and then to invite in
All right, I'd like to
attending
make a
board
motion.
members. And then wait, who do you want? Dean, Michael, Susan, who else?
Actually, I
Michael?
think almost everybody at this table with your approval, okay, because everybody's involved. Ally's
I don't
definitely
think
involved in a way.
Sandy can stay.
I'm not saying.
No.
I've stayed previously,
I
just
think because
FYI. But I'm
we
happy
had-
to
this
go
came
sit
up
out there.
This came up at a budget meeting, I think, a
Up to
couple
you,
weeks
Mike. I
ago,
mean,
and
if you have a staff
Jason had
member
to
here
leave.
and-
I mean, if the board is okay with it, I mean, Sandy is very confidential. I don't think Sandy is going to, but I understand there is a concern because the staff.
And we did have to, we asked Jason to leave the last one. I'm
Executive
just saying,
session.
I'm just trying to be consistent.
Yep, understood.
Because he had stayed at one and then he was asked to leave, and I don't know, we need to make a decision, I guess, as a board, what to do with that, but I
I
just
think it
want to
depends
raise
on
it.
it depends on the topic per se, from a budgetary standpoint, depending on, for example, if positions were going to be discussed.
I think,
It was a position, it was a
So,
contract.
yeah, he wouldn't be allowed
Okay,
to
that's
stay
why.
for that.
I think
That
Sandy's
makes
input would
sense.
help,
Yep.
being at Torrington and.
Okay, I'd like to make a motion to go in executive session to discuss secure foyers, inviting everybody in this room, except for Josh and Marissa.
So move.
Second. Oh, that's right, you're here.
I'm here, second,
All right,
all this.
Snuck it.
Bye.
all in favor? All
Sorry.
opposed?
6:19.
Declare this meeting in executive session at 6:19.